Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Pittsburgh Steelers' long-term plan at quarterback becomes clear. The Pittsburgh Steelers have overturned their quarterback room for 2 straight seasons. That might be a signal they are dysfunctional at the quarterback position, and even though they are pursuing Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh still has to find a long-term option. General Manager Omar Khan talked about the team's plan at quarterback and knows at some point they have to find a long-term solution. It's not ideal. I'll put it that way. We addressed it last year. We're addressing it this year. At some point, we have to find the long-term solution, I'll say. That might happen this year. It could happen next year. In the meantime, we're going to keep doing whatever we can to win a championship this year, Khan said. In addition, the team is set for 4 compensatory picks, with 2 of those in the top 4 rounds, and the possibility of 3 going into the top 4 rounds. Khan admitted it was a consideration. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's for next year. What I'll say is that we were in a position this year where we understood where our contracts were with our free agents. A possibility does exist, a good possibility does exist for us to acquire comp picks. That's always been a part of the process this year. You guys are intelligent people. You guys can read through it and see it. The fact that we've had the opportunity to acquire picks, I don't know exactly how it's going to shake out yet. That's obviously been something we've taken into consideration, Khan said. The Steelers will take a quarterback, perhaps in the next 2 drafts. That rookie, whether it is in 2025 and 2026, seems set to be part of the equation for the Steelers' long-term plan at quarterback. Those compensatory picks could be ammo for the Steelers to trade up and make a move. The official amount and set pick number will not be announced until the 2026 NFL offseason. Steelers GM addresses George Pickens' future after DK Metcalf trade. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver George Pickens is going nowhere. General Manager Omar Khan addressed Pickens' future with the team after their trade for DK Metcalf, and he says it has no effect on their future plans for the 4th-year wide receiver. No. You need more than one receiver in this league, and we're fortunate we have George, Pickens, and Calvin, Austin III, and excited about what Roman, Wilson, is going to be able to do for us, Khan said. While Khan strongly endorsed Pickens, head coach Mike Tomlin did not shy away from the situation with Metcalf either. With 2 wide receivers who want the football and will act like alpha wide receivers, Tomlin views it as a good problem to have. We'll figure that out, but that's not a problem as I see it. These guys that want to be significant reasons why we're successful, guys that have the talent to do so, I'll stand in line for those issues, Tomlin said. On Sunday, Tomlin gave a rebuttal to the idea that Metcalf and Pickens were too similar in skill set to coexist in the same offense. In fact, Tomlin believes they can do it quite easily. I don't necessarily view them as similar, to be quite honest with you. They're both downfield capable, but they're different people. I mean, DK Metcalf is a big man, GP George Pickens is tall. There's a difference, Tomlin said. None of these quotes sound like a team that is gearing up to trade Pickens. Pickens is in a contract year and could want to be paid, but the Steelers do have room to accommodate a second wide receiver contract given their lack of future investments in the team at large. Pickens is coming off a season where he was the lone top wide receiver, but his field-stretching skill set should match with Metcalf's in Arthur Smith's scheme. NFL Insider reveals latest step in Steelers securing Aaron Rodgers, report. The Pittsburgh Steelers appear to be narrowing in on an Aaron Rodgers signing. There was more positive news regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers' pursuit of Aaron Rodgers on March 31, as NFL Network insider Mike Garafolo reported that Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf had a throwing session over the weekend. Garafolo revealed this bit of information on NFL Network's Good Morning Football, referring to the UCLA throwing session as the latest step in the free agency process for Rodgers as he evaluates the Steelers' interest in him. So, Rodgers going through the process and checking all the boxes, and I assume it was a good throwing session there, at UCLA, Garafolo added, as colleague and fellow insider Ian Rappaport interjected that it sounded good. Later, on March 31st, Rappaport confirmed that this meeting between Rodgers and Metcalf was not a coincidence during a spot with the Pat McAfee show, calling it a planned throwing session. He also noted that it went very well and was lengthy. Rappaport went on to reiterate that this is all part of Rodgers' process, considering this could be the final NFL stop of his long and illustrious career. It wasn't much of a secret, Rappaport concluded, regarding the throwing session. But it was at UCLA, it did go well, it was part of the process for Rodgers to say, all right, maybe this is my eventual destination, and it seems to me, unless the Minnesota Vikings do a complete about-face from what they've said publicly, the Steelers would be his only spot. So, it feels like a matter of time, but as you probably know, getting in the head of Aaron Rodgers and trying to figure out what he's up to is difficult. Steelers general manager Omar Khan was also asked about this throwing session on the morning of March 31st. Per ESPN Pittsburgh beat reporter Brooke Pryor, he responded, "I wasn't there, but that's good if that did happen, I'd say that." Khan had a similar take on Rodgers' visit of team facilities earlier in the month, which sort of echoed head coach Mike Tomlin's comments from March 30th. It was positive, Khan said of the Rodgers visit, via Pryor. "I thought it was important for us to get to know him and for him to get to know us, and I'm glad we were part of it." There were a couple of negative rumors that sprouted up last week, hinting that Rodgers could potentially retire or wait out the Vikings, but things appear to be looking up for Pittsburgh following the NFL owners' meeting. All indications point to Rodgers eventually signing with the Steelers. Right now, it just feels like a matter of time. In the unlikely event that Rodgers does snub the Steelers, choosing to retire or pursue a quarterback job with another franchise, Pittsburgh noted that they do plan on signing another veteran QB either way. "We always go to training camp with 4 quarterbacks and we have 2 under contract right now," Khan stated on March 31st, via Pryor, "so all options are on the table through free agency, trade or draft, obviously." Per The Athletic's Mike DeFabua, Khan also confirmed that it's a safe assumption that the Steelers will add either Rodgers or an alternative veteran signal caller between now and Week 1. Outside of Rodgers, potential veteran QB options could include a free agent like Joe Flacco or Carson Wentz, or a trade target like Kirk Cousins or Will Levis. Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson are the 2 aforementioned quarterbacks who are already under contract. And you fan? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' situation? Write to us in the comments.